Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I have another film review for you today, and it is for the horror movie The Void. Um, this is a movie that's been on my radar for a while, ever since I saw the trailers several months ago, I suppose. And you could see straight away from the trailers that what we had here was potentially a really, really good horror movie. So I've been really quite looking forward to seeing this. So after seeing it, and I've seen some good reviews, I've seen some good buzz about this movie. That can't always be trusted, but after seeing it, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It scared me half to death at times because it is really quite creepy. Um, and it, but what I love about this movie is it doesn't hold back. It's like a real throwback to the 80s body horror movies like The Thing and Hellraiser, Reanimator, things like that. And what again, another thing that I really love about this movie is there's no CGI in sight. Thank God. Um, it's just practical effects, and it just really fantastic effects. For me, when practical effects are done right, they're just better than CGI. Unless you've got an absolutely skyrocketed budget like they do for things like Kong and what have you. Um, there's no reason to do CGI because practical effects look far better, I think, and they do in this movie. So what we've got here is story. Here is there's a police officer on like a highway. He comes across this young chap on the highway who's injured. He takes him to the nearest hospital that is in the process of being closed down due to a fire, and there's a real skeleton crew on there at this hospital. And from that moment on, really, weird stuff starts happening. Within moments, um, one of the nurses kills one of the patients, but scissors through the eyes, and then goes for the cop. He has to kill her, and it all goes tits up really fast. There's all this weird stuff start happening. They start having visions, um, uh, and then this other guy turns up, who you see at the beginning of the movie with this other young chap with him, and it all just continues to get madder and madder and gorier and gorier and crazier and crazier, and they have no clue what's going on, and neither do you as an audience member, really, because they don't really explain anything. And outside, keeping them in the building, is like this cult with these robes on with like triangles on their face, and they won't let them out. Um, so you do get to learn later on a little bit of what's happening and why it's happening, but only a little bit. It does leave it wide open, really, so that you don't really understand and get to figure out what the reasoning is behind all this and what actually is happening. But I quite like that air of mystery. There are some good points and bad points. I'll start with the bad. I mean, the bad points really. I did feel at times it was too dark. Um, I guess that was due to the budget, really. But I did feel at times it was too dark, and you really were struggling to see what was going on. And the only other real negative that I could find was that you didn't really have anyone to root for in the movie, because none of the leads, none of the main characters were particularly likable, and they didn't really give you any reason to particularly root for them. So that was a little bit of a weakness there, but um, it's just a great movie. It's tension filled. You're on edge all the way through watching it. There's loads of gore throughout the movie. It is, if you love those 80s horror movies, this is a real respectful tip of the hat towards them, and it's a real high quality horror, this, and I would be very interested in seeing a second one, because they do leave it wide open for that. So yeah, if you fancy a really good scare and a horror gore fest, this is the film for you. Very good.